the level of excellence that we operate at, right? So what we want to try and do is how do we build an excellence-oriented organization, right? Based off of where we're going, and then we'll go for tea break at 11 o'clock, at 11:30. We're back from tea break by 12:30. Then I'll start, I'll continue my session, but I'll do majority of this, I will do well after tea break. And we'll be done at 2:30. We'll go for lunch, 2:30 to 3:30. And afterwards, we'll go and see the city, right? Go to Dubai Mall and all that. And we're still under negotiation. Please let me close that door. If the door is open, it's always distracting me. My eyes is always going to that place. So we're still under negotiation to try and see if we can get us to the tallest building in the world. And you stand at the top of the tallest building in the world, and see the city from there. But that decision is supposed to cost us an additional $4 million, I think, if we're looking at $150 that we were discussing yesterday, times everybody that is here. But we'll see. Let's see if our Odogu Parara can paralyze it for us this evening. All right, so that's good. So, but before we start, I'd like to give our CEO an opportunity to address us. Just, talk to us for another maybe 5-10 minutes. So let's give our CEO a round of applause. Please, you have the floor. No. You have to say something now. Now you've gathered all of us for here. Good morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I believe that we have.
I'll be like a consultant.
We should not really see the plan. It is to expand our mind. It is to see what is possible for our lives. I've always maintained that it is exposure that determines possibilities. What you see is what you believe that is possible. So what we have promised to do is to challenge ourselves that we can't do certain things beyond the environment where we are. Because environment can be neat, but we refuse to be limited by where we are. By going out to see what others have done and to see that we can as well. If the people did this, then we can do as well. So that's what we come to do. Do not go back and get used to where you used to be. Continuously, if there are pictures you can use to continuously challenge yourself to say, I am not built for this place. This is where I'm meant to be. So everywhere we have lived with my family, I kept telling my children, you don't belong here. Do not associate with people around you. You don't belong here. So we are on transit. Until we get to that place, then I can say, these are your neighbors. But for now, you don't have neighbors. And I have kept saying it, and I believe one day we will arrive in that neighborhood that we want.
In all of history, they did a research and they asked, what's the number one thing that has been responsible for the advancement of civilization since inception? And the number one thing is relocation. People going somewhere to see something that is possible and coming back to transform their city. That's what has happened to China. That's what is going to happen to Nigeria. That's what's happening everywhere. By the way, you have manuals, though. See, inside. And it's better to use it. So if you go to, they say that conference that we did is powerful, but your manual is empty. Use it, I beg. And please, it's for you. We have calendars for you also. And by the way, you're going to get these slides sent into the group. So how many of us, so I want to ask a few questions about your experience based on the places that we've been so far. Let me get from 2 or 3 people. What's your experience like? What has been your experience? Anybody? You want to tell us? What has been your experience?
My experience.
Please stand up so that the camera can capture you.
Okay, my experience in this trip to Dubai is I no longer think the way I do. In fact, I'm no longer normal the way I think these days. Yes, because this is what I've been dreaming of. So there's a massive shift in my thinking now. Because what I'm just kind of like saying is, because if you go to my hometown, I came out from the poor background. In fact, my town, in fact, my village as a place is not, it's a place not to write home about. For those people who have traveled, who have other places that are okay. But my own village, Bongo. So, like yesterday, after we went around, we saw the city, I said, God, if I have opportunity, I will build this kind of a thing in my hometown. My own father's village. At least let me start from there. Because I think I will be able to build these things now. So I can do the same.
Good.
Once I have that capacity, I know I will do that.
Thank you very much. How many of us know in 1994, all of this wasn't here? 1997, all of this wasn't here. None of this was here. This place was a complete, was like, it was a desert. So that's just desert. None of this was here. Everything that you see here has happened literally in the last 25 to 30 years. Right? So, because they were all just a community of fishermen. That's all they were.
We are not born.
You understand? So let me explain what I mean. Like, the people who were here when this place was poor, are still alive.
Are still alive.
They are alive to see. So, I mean, and a country has gone through this much transformation in one lifetime. And I'm saying that because here's the thing. It is possible that this would happen in Nigeria. No, it's not amen. No, it's a fact that it is possible in Nigeria. The problem is who's going to make it possible. Because it's not the government. It's not government that is going to lead this kind of efforts, right? And the way this kind of thing is going to happen is with all of us in this room. Is that when you take the energy that you've generated here, you need to know how to sustain it. Dr. Simeon said something earlier. He said, you tell your children you don't have neighbors here. That's how I lived my life throughout. I never had relationships with anywhere that I had lived. Right? Even now, where I live in an estate now where I have neighbors who drive Rolls Royce and the likes, but I still don't feel like that's where I'm going. Because anywhere you have friends, you stay there for a long time. Because I remember one day my mom asked me, I said, you don't have any friends around here? I said, no, I don't. I said, why? I said, because anywhere you have friends, you stay there for a long time. Right? I don't want to stay here for a long time. So I don't need friends here. Right? So if you don't have all my friends that I have, a majority of them live in Ikoyi. I'm not living in Ikoyi yet. I've made significant progress on where I am. Where I am is almost as expensive as Ikoyi, but it's not Ikoyi. Right? So I don't have friends where I live. I don't. You understand? So we have to learn how to cultivate this energy. And here's what I want us to commit to. This entire session is about helping us redesign exactly how we can make this life a recurrent experience. How many of us would love this to be recurrent in your life? Right? You know, you don't want to come for this trip and then 5 years from now you say, I remember when we went to Dubai that year when things were very nice. How many of us don't want that? Good. You want this opportunity. Now, this is April 4th, and this is the 4th country I'm visiting this year. Between January 1st and this place, and this year. Right? Sorry, 4th city. No, 4th country. I've been to the UK, I've been to Spain, I've been to France, and I'm in Dubai. Right? In is it May or June, I'm supposed to go to, which country is that? I think I'm supposed to go to Qatar in June. I'm in London and Qatar in July. London and Singapore. In fact, I'm in London, Qatar, and Singapore in July. And in late August, I'm supposed to go to the US in June because there's an event I'm supposed to go for. In May, sorry. Then we're doing London, Qatar, Singapore in July. And then in late August, early September, I'm doing Spain, Belgium, and Germany. And then by the end of the year, because I and my family, we've chosen that we will never do 31st nights in Nigeria. Yes, because all the 31st night where you go, they pray for church since you don't come. What have your life changed? You did the 31st night, you pray. Life never changed. Can't try the one where you go pray abroad. Make you day abroad, pray. So that the evils... Sorry, one phone ring now. Which phone? The laptop, okay. Nah, I'd be so like her when she come. She even there outside. Okay. So I think it's connected to our WhatsApp. Go and tell her. They owe me 30K now. And me, I get as I go collect them. Na salary now. Just come out them for salary. All right. What was I even saying? Do it outside. So that the demon that are chasing you from the village will not know what you have planned. Before they know, you don't move. You don't arrange them. Right? So that's so we decided that we're going to be doing that. So that's how I know that I want to bring my second son hasn't been to Dubai, so I want to bring him here. It was supposed to come in 2020 when he was born, but that was where, in fact, we had booked ticket the day before our flight was when Dubai cancelled Nigeria. So I still have money in one of those hotels that we have booked, but they don't pay, so they're not going to give me my money back. But I'm saying that we need to make this a regular occurrence in your life. You would be frustrated in life if this was the only time you had this kind of experience. So, how do we make this a regular occurrence in your life? The easiest way to make this a regular occurrence in your life is for you to decide to not have this experience alone. Everybody in this room has a team, right? Good. The easiest way for this to be a regular occurrence in your life is for us to find 2, 3, 4, 5 people, right? That we would say, you know what? I want you to qualify. Now, here's the reason why. You're still going to qualify based on your own sales. However, if you have other people in your team that are working hard and they're trying to qualify, you work hard, right? You push yourself, right? And I mentioned to those of us yesterday that the most powerful way to succeed at anything is whenever you are inspired. The missing link, the reason why most people don't achieve things is what they do when they are inspired or what they do when they are depressed. See, those two things will happen. but it's what you do when those things are happening. Most people make life-altering decisions when they are depressed and do nothing when they are inspired. So you are depressed, you say, I will never go to church again. You've made a decision. You follow through on it. But when you are inspired and you're excited, you don't make any life-altering decision. So I always tell people, when you're depressed, don't make a decision. Because don't make a permanent decision on a temporary situation. The best thing that happened to me in my life, I ended up going to a private university. But let me give you a bit of my history. At the time that I was going to a private university, at the time where we were going to the private university, we did not have a house of our own that we were living. We were squatting. When I was in GS3, my parents ran into serious financial difficulty, right? His business, my dad's business was quite big, everything scattered, everything. Between when I was in GS3 and when I got to 200 level, in fact, when I left university, I couldn't go to school for 2 years because of this same difficulty. So 4 years from GS3 to SS3, 2 years, and another 2 years in school, 7 years. In those 7 years, right, we didn't have a house to stay. My dad was living somewhere. My mom was living somewhere. I was living in different people's homes, right, in that period. In fact, my dad and my mom had problems of about 4 years in that period. And then even when things got better, the last 3 years, we were living in, so my dad had a friend that had his own family in a 3-bedroom house. And so we were living in one of the rooms. All of us, 5 of us in one of the rooms. And then when we got into, because I went to pre-degree, then first 100 level. When we got to 100 level, we moved our entire house into a small, almost uncompleted building, you know. And you know it's uncompleted because you have to bath outside. But I was in a private university. My dad had one land. Of all the things that he had lost, that was the only thing he didn't lose. It was a 1 acre land somewhere. So, of course, when things happened in secondary school, I ended up, that's pretty much what drove me into starting business. So I didn't take pocket money from my parents from GS3 till when I finished school, because I had to figure my life out myself. You know, I had to do business and the likes. But when we were done and we passed these exams, my elder brother, he's late now. So think about it. So it was when things started to get better financially that my elder brother then died. Right? Because I had to be responsible paying my fees, 200 level, 300 level. It was the 400 level that things were a bit easier for me and him that he then dies as we were getting into 400 level. So he sold the last piece of land that he had. And his excuse, it didn't make sense. In fact, it was because of that we had to move out of the house, that one room that we were in, because you couldn't explain it to people. But he said he was going to sell it, take that entire money, and send us to that school. He said because things will not always be this bad. So let's not make a permanent decision on a temporary situation, right? And that small decision became, now I'd always been an entrepreneur, but for the first time when I got into school, into university, I was amongst people who had money. I'd never lived with people who did not, when I got into school, the school fees was a lot at the time, but it was 360,000. Which was a lot by the time. We're talking about when school fees in government university was like 10K, 15K. 360. I had roommates whose pocket money was 500,000 a month. 500,000 a month. So imagine being around those types of people. It reshaped my head. You know, because when you hang around people who don't have money problems, it starts to occur to you that money day, now you just no get them. Do you understand? There's money. It's just not in your pocket. Do you understand? It was, and I didn't ask my friends to give me money. No. And I was. So let me give you a little bit of story. So I get into 100 level. I had to pay my second semester fee. Happened by a miracle. But the craziest miracle that I'd seen was when I was in 200 level. So in 200 level, now I realized that I'd always been very brilliant. I graded the best in my class. And the reason why I try to be very good academically is that if you are good academically, you get to choose your friends. If you are not brilliant, you settle with whoever wants to be your friend. So I was very good academically, so I chose my friends. So I chose friends. It gets friends where I choose. Most of my friends didn't even know book. I choose the one we get benefits. Get one we get money. So that to the chop no go be problem. Nah, you go the supply. You understand? You guys choose your friends. And because you are the most brilliant person, they want to be your friend too. Do you understand? And I started doing tutorial for the whole school, for the whole class. So I'm the one teaching the whole class and all that. And I also was one of the leaders in the fellowship, but I didn't tell anybody about the situation that I was in. You know, I tried to just stay focused. It was in 1 week to my exam. 1 week to my exam. People walked into, so I was in the library, people would walk in, give me, I was praying, God said I should give you this money. You know, people just, and my first semester fees was 150,000. So that's how I got the 150,000. In fact, it was even, by the time I got it, I don't count time, everything is okay. I was talking to one of my friends, the only guy that I had told about, he said, I know, that's not a problem. That he believes that I would get more than that. I said, well, I don't see the 150K. You know, imagine you are using the whole semester, this was 1 week to my exam, to look for school fees. Sure, you count it very well, you know how much it is. I finished counting, it's 150K. I go to the bank, I try to raise a draft. The lady counts it 4 times, they had 12,600 naira excess. I couldn't believe it. I got my money, so now I have money for myself where I go take chop self. Second semester, of course, as God do am first semester, I say, na so you go do am. Nobody came to give me money. Until the very day of my exam, I had my first paper at 3:30 in the evening, right? And I woke up that morning and I felt like God told me to go to the bank. Now, the bank God told me to go to, I didn't have an accounting. Please let me close that door. I didn't have an accounting. Secondly, that bank was the only bank in the school that was on the fence. So it was servicing both the community and the school. And they got robbed. Armed robbers came. I think even 1 or 2 people died. It was a really bad experience. So I wake up in the morning, at 6 o'clock, God tells me exactly what to wear. And tells me to go to the bank. I go to the bank and I go to meet customer care. I say, I don't have any collateral, I don't have anything, but I need 100,000 naira if I'm going to write an exam this evening at 3:30. The lady laughed at, asked me whether I put jars or mouth. Because one, even if you have an account, this is not how they used to come and collect money from bank. Your entire, I say, now you get the bank. They are dictating to us what she said, just get out of my bank. So as I'm walking out, she said, well, that's the branch manager. You know, anything is possible. And I walked up to the man and I said, sir, I have no collateral, I have nothing, but I have an exam that I must write this afternoon at 3:30. And I need 100,000 draft to write that exam because I haven't paid my fees. And the guy looks at me. I said, what you've asked for is impossible. He said, but I've been a student before, sit down. He walks into his office. In 20 minutes, comes out with a draft of 100,000. In fact, my first paper was a Thursday. I couldn't go and greet him until Tuesday. Because I've been thinking, say, if I go greet him, I go say, hey, this guy don't use jazz, you know, you go hold me. By the time I greeted him on Tuesday, he said, how's your exam? When he said, how's your exam, I knew he knew what he said, what he did. you know. That's how, but that was the day I made two decisions. One decision was, I enjoyed, miracles are good, but I said, in this same school, I will pay somebody's school fees. So I doubled down my business. At 400 level, I paid my school fees and the school fees of one of my friends. In fact, I met the guy 2 years ago in London, or last year, or 2 years ago, I can't remember, in one of my trips to the UK. He brought his wife to me and said, this is the guy that made sure that I graduated from school. And I didn't loan him the money, I gave him the money. But why am I saying this? At the times you are most frustrated, don't make a decision. Don't make a permanent decision. Because don't make a permanent decision on a situation that is temporary. I wouldn't be where I am if my dad, because at that time, my mom used to own 2 restaurants in Lagos State University, LASU. She knows everybody in that place from the VC all the way down. It would have just been a phone call for me to get into those schools. But that would have been a permanent decision on a temporary situation. Do you understand? Now, I started a business with my dad based off of that decision. That business, I'm not even involved in that business. That business generates so much money for my dad now that every year, my dad builds a house. Every year. This is the man that was been homeless. This is the man that has not had it. Every year he builds a house. Every year. They are currently building the one for this year now. They'll be done by every January. He builds a house. All right? Why? Because I was thrust into an environment where people didn't have money problems. My entire life has been a journey of what can happen when people are exposed. The situation that you are going through in your country, in your city, in your house, is not a true reflection of what's possible. That's why I told Dr. Simeon, I said, look, it is better to gift people incentive to travel than to give them a car. You see, while giving them a car, helps their ego in Nigeria, how many of them will be able to buy another car by themselves? They won't be able to buy a car for themselves. But if you give them a trip and they come, all of you in this room, you will not be able. There's a way that when you enter and you want to enter bus, you'll be angry. You'll just be angry. And you know, look, the experience that I have had of books and the places that I've been to, I don't rush for bus. Even when I didn't have a bus, I could just do. I just felt it was beneath me to be rushing with everybody for bus. So how do we make this experience permanent, right? How do we make this experience? So I'm going to take a little bit more time, but wherever you get to at 11:30, we'll go for tea break and you continue afterwards. How do we make this experience permanent, right? How you make it permanent is that when you get into a place where you are inspired, when you get all this opportunity, the first decision you make is that this has to be common in my life. See, this thing that you've experienced now, you have to get it at least 2-3 times a year. You have to get it so much that you are tired of traveling, right? I remember in 2009, I used to have an auntie that used to travel a lot. And every time she's traveling, she's always angry. I'm like, what did they do you? She said, don't worry. He said, Ezekiel, don't worry. You will enter this thing too. You too, you'll be angry. Now, anytime I see trip now, I go the verse. I'll be like, what, why again? Why do I have to do this trip? Why do I have to? But there was a time that it was a dream. It was a dream. Right? The first time I took a plane in my life was 2009. I don't finish university, finish everything. And I realized that I've never taken a plane in my life. So I use bus, go Abuja, I use plane, come back. Yes, no? I use bus, go Abuja, borrow money, join. I remember the plane was Virgin Air, I'd be Virgin Nigeria, I didn't be that time. I borrow money, I borrow the money. Someone says it's a useless investment. No, I borrow the money. I say I cannot now enter plane. I borrow money from 2-3 people, gather the money. I think it was 19,000 that time. Eh, 19,000 or 19,500. I borrowed the money that time. Gather the money, pay. Use bus, go to Abuja. Can't go, can't go pay for plane. Use plane, come back. Just so that I can get it off my chest. But since I did that, I've never taken a bus to Abuja. Because what happens is that you shift. Your mind shifts. You become uncomfortable with that level of life. And the reason why you have what you have or you don't have what you don't have is because somehow, some way, you have not given yourself a reason to want more. That's the truth, though. You haven't given yourself a reason to want more. This is me. I'm telling you, I've lived in a church. I've sold I've sold goods in the market. Right? I'm telling you, I've lived in different family houses. For example, now, there's some bad habit that have damaged my life till today. I used to live in one house. The woman gathered all of us put together. It'd be like foster home. But nobody really foster home. She just a nice person. Anybody where their parents get problem, she gather all of us put for house. So because we're many, very plenty. See, as I'm here now, inside my room now, I get Gary. Me and Gary, we have a special relationship. And it's because of poverty. So because we were many in that house, the only food they sure, where person go chop, na night food. Nobody care whether you chop morning food, afternoon food. But that night food, it goes they sure. Because we many way they cook for. And even that one, even when they cook the food, you have to, have you seen, and a majority of them are men, of us are men. So they go up put food. Now, you not even fight now, but if it be somebody when if you chop hot food, don't chop 2 spoons, person don't chop 7. You understand? So you guys, but so that people will not die before they reach night food, at every point in time, they went to go and they have a farm where they produce gari. So every point in time, 2 bags of gari they did the kitchen. 2 full bags. If you be like, say, you need a sea road, you won't die. Carry gari, put for water, soak. No sugar. It will give you energy till night. So, till today now, me and Gary, every day, we must touch each other. And till today now, my people know, I don't remember to eat until like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock sometimes. So, but the point is, same me told you, by the time this year is over, I probably will have visited 10 different countries, 10 different cities. So I know that we've done Spain, we've done France, we're in Dubai, we're doing US, we're doing Singapore, London, Qatar, we're coming back to Dubai, and we're going to Germany, yes, and Belgium, 10. Right? It's possible. So, number one, make sure this is not a unique experience. Make sure it will happen all the time. Secondly, now, like I said yesterday, you now need to, once you've agreed on that, you now need to ask, what is the best thing that I can focus on that would ensure this happens all the time? Right? It's sales. But not just sales, it's sales not just of myself, but of the people that work with me. So here's what we want to do. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I want you to think about the people in your team, and I want you to take a fresh sheet of paper, and I want you to write down the names of 5 people that you know based on the way they walk, based on how they be, how you've seen their hard work. You know that they are possible candidates to qualify if we set a target. Because we are going to set a target, and the target is going to involve all of us here, of course, qualifying, but even if you qualify and you don't have 2 of your downlines who qualify, you're not coming. Yeah? Because now our job is you are in this room today because we went to Qatar last year. And I sat down in the same room with everybody and I told them, I said, look, this is a beautiful experience for you. Beautiful. But this experience means absolutely nothing if you can't get somebody on your team to come. So we all sat down and pledged and said, what do we need to do? What needs to happen in the business for us to bring team members? You guys being in this room is the result of that conversation. Now, to bring you people here, how many of us here know that the business has grown? Right? The business has grown just from that decision. So, and don't forget, everybody in this room is a businessman. Why? Because you have the opportunity to control your income, right? You can control your income. For your business to grow, it has to be more than you. It has to be somebody inside your team, right, who is going to succeed. And you are going to drive that person to succeed. So, 2 minutes. Please write in. I want you to write the names of at least, if you can get to 3, fine. If you can get to 5, fine. But not more than 5. 5 people. We know that not all of them will qualify. The target is, at the very least, you must have 1 person who would qualify. Right? Between now and when the qualification expires. But we'll work with 5 of them. Right? So I want you to write down 5 people. Write down 5 people that would qualify. I don't just want you to write who you like. I want you to write who you know. Now, they might not have sold up to 100 million before, but you've seen that in the last month, last 2 months, last 1 year, they have made some progress in their lives. Do you understand? Good. Those are the kind of people I want you to write. 5 of them. Do something today. Five of them. Five people. What we're trying to do is we're trying to move from inspiration to commitment, right? So I'll explain. The purpose of this is when we're done, you're going to call these 5 people. You're going to, of course, they know that you are here, I suppose. You're going to tell them that there's another trip to Dubai in December and that you are going to be here. But more than that, you want them to be here with you. Right? And we're going to work out how to get them here. But what it does is that now there are at least 5 people who look up to you, who now know that you have an intention to be here in December. Now, you cannot afford to disgrace them or disgrace yourself in front of them. Abi? Good. So, at least you must make it. Please. More people than 5?
No. What if you have, like, your team members, they're not active?
Then you don't have team members, no?
They always tell you that they are busy.
You don't have team members, huh? But of all those people, can you find 5? Because what we're going to do, So let me tell you what we're going to do. Please, who's the admin on the group that we are on now? Who is admin? Are you admin? Good. So there are 2 steps. Once you write, how many of us are we done with the 5 names? Have you written 5 names? Did you get up to 5?
Yes.
You got up to 5? Did you get up to 5? 4. Okay, good. Only 3. Good. How many people can you identify? 4 people. Good. How many people can you? 3. How many people, sir? You have 4. Are you looking at or do you have?
I'm still checking.
If you are checking, don't worry. The one that you don't need to check is the ones that are correct. Because if you have to think about it, then there's a problem. How many people? 3. Only 1 person. So you get problem. Now that 1 person gets qualified, you go drag in here. Baba, you go get like 100 now. I mean, how many you get?
7 here.
7. So yeah. I mean, and you cannot borrow somebody 1. No. You have 4. How many do you have? 5. How many do you?
I don't have none, but I just wrote their name. I just write them in there because,
So why?
because the picture I'm posting to them,
Are they the one responding to the picture?
they hold them for good now.
Okay, some of anybody, if you're looking for more name, anybody that you have been peppering with picture and their body is hot, that's a candidate.
That's the names I wrote here now.
Good. So here's what you're going to do for me. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Download VPN, download what you must download, and you're going to call them now. Right? You're going to call them. You're going to tell them. You can walk around, you can do whatever. In 10 minutes, everybody has to be back here. You're going to call them. You're going to tell them that, so that you can make WhatsApp calls. Download, there's a VPN called Turbo VPN. It's free. Download it, you can make WhatsApp calls. Right? Or better still, you know what? Let's do this activity during tea break. Right? So during tea break, download the VPN now. So during tea break, you would call them, let them know, right? That, okay, you know what is going to happen. See, let's do this. This is what's going to happen. Anybody with my phone? Let me show you what you're going to do now. Everybody, you can do WhatsApp video message. You know how to do that, right? Let me turn on your phone. Video message. Open your phone. Open your WhatsApp. Open anybody's chat. Chat with anybody. So if you want to do that one now, if you do this now, normally it's supposed to change to video. Okay, now they change to video. See. Once you hold the
mic.
Once you hold this picture and you hold it down, let's delete this one. I did they delete for you. Okay, up here. So once you hold
It's that thing that looks like camera.
The thing that looks like camera, once you hold it, it will turn to video message. So I need you to send. I'm going to give you. I want you guys to do this now. I need you to take 5 minutes, go to each of those people, go to their chat, send them a video message, right? You can walk around as you are doing it. Video message is usually 1 minute, so you have to say everything you want to say in 1 minute, right? You walk around, you let them know that, of course, they know you're in Dubai, that there's an opportunity to come to Dubai in December, and that you would want them to be here with you because you intend to qualify for it. And they should reply if they are interested because there's something that we want to do with them today. Right? Good. 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Go and do it. Let's not delay. So these 2 people, send them a video message, right? Then after tea break, we'll check who has responded. Because the people who have responded, and see, please end with, let me know if you are interested. Right? Or respond with, I am interested. You can say it in Igbo, anyhow you want to say it. Respond with, I am interested, so that I know that I can work with you. Right? So, those who respond after tea break, I'll tell you what to do with them. But let's quickly do that activity now.
And they should respond if they're interested.
Yes, now. Oh yeah, sharp, 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 sharp. Everybody, get up, move around. You have 6 minutes. Don't ask, do it first. Eh? Downline now. What you concern you and the person who did the same department? The downline is the one that if you succeed, it affects you now, Abi. The person in your department, if the person said they send you commission. You go do the one now, where go favor you now. Right? Now, Bisola is going to talk about us supporting the entire company, and we're going to have that conversation. No, you don't even have to. Hold the camera. Okay, no, Turbo VPN. No, don't call them. Do video message now. Do video message. Don't call.
I can't even do video message.
You can. Open your WhatsApp. Open your WhatsApp. Make sure that you turn up for this kind of opportunities over and over and over again. Because the beauty of this thing is the more you do this, is there nobody outside? I think there's like someone is not here. Purity, I believe. Then somebody's there. So there are 3. Bisola, please can you help us find them? What about Simon? I know Simon was talking to 7 people. Purity, yeah. You understand? So you want to make sure that this is not a one-off experience. You want to have this experience again. You want to have it again and again and again. And more than that, you now want to extend this experience to your children, right? You want to extend it to your... Now, the first time I took a plane was after I had left university and all that. And I told you, I took a bus to Abuja and borrowed money so that I can take a plane back. Just so that I can experience it. But my son, before my son turned 6, he'd been to about 7 different countries. Right? Before he turned 6. And it shows in his academics. Children that are better exposed do better academically. Do you know the difference between somebody going to school in Egbeda and somebody going to school in Lekki or in Banana Island? It's the same curriculum. So why is it that somebody who does better than the other? It's exposure. That's the only difference. The difference between the poor and the rich at the basic level is exposure. It's not money. It's not brilliance. If somebody finishes in OAU with first class, he didn't fail any course in his life. He got A from beginning to end. And somebody finishes in Harvard with first class, he got A from beginning. You know their life is not going in the same direction. In fact, if somebody finished first class OAU and somebody drop out of Harvard, the one that dropped out of Harvard can still be a billionaire. And the difference is exposure. Because if you're in Harvard, you're exposed to people, right? Look at Mark Zuckerberg, right? Do you know the people who put him up to Facebook are 2 billionaire brothers? They're the ones that had the idea. They said, look, you know book, build this thing for us. In the process of building it, when he now said, this thing can become my own. He segued and made it his own. They sued him to court, but eventually he won. But the point is that it takes exposure. And so the gift you must give yourself first is exposure. You see, you can change your life by just cultivating a life of consistent exposure. So here's what we want. Those of them that respond to us, right? You see the group that we are on this trip? We're going to add them to that group. So we'll get permission from admin. They will give everybody opportunity to add people. Those that respond, you let them know. We'll add them to this group this afternoon during tea break. those that have responded, or just after tea break. That's the first thing I'm going to do when we come back. So that they can be a part of this trip from where they are. So as all those pictures are dropping, and all those videos are dropping, and all those things are dropping, let them use their eyes and see it. Then from Monday next week, we would start a 60-day program with them. Every day for 60 days, right? At 6 a.m. in the morning, we'll drop. So I have a real estate mega sales challenge, 60 days. So I created that program for a real estate company. And that program, they had a couple of people go through that program. The sales that was recorded in those 60 days, or in 90 days, 30 days post those 60 days, was over 2 billion naira. And majority of them, they haven't made any sales before. So it's the basic, if somebody knows absolutely nothing about real estate, all the way to when you want to really, really sell, the entire program is there. It's for 60 days. So from Monday next week, the moment... Oh yeah, madam, you know it's this up now. I know, just stand up. Let me open door. The OP account there. Make you run them sharply. Two OP you go send now. Eh?
Are you send also?
But not be me say make you play them now. So you go send them 2 times. So you have money now, just 10K. See the OP account there for that place. Let me close the door. Once you send it, where's my phone? Make I confirm the OP. Eh? Sir, now your phone be ring now. Eh? But something rang now. Ooh.
That's what I'm even looking at.
What's going on here? 12 now.
It's not mine. I'm with my friend.
But something that rang in this vicinity.
I was even looking at
So is a spiritual something? Eh? Eh? Now we waiting ring now. Wait. Something ring now.
something wrong.
Yeah. Do you agree that something wrong?
Yes,
Do you agree that something wrong?
something wrong.
Then you go outside and transfer money. Eh?
That way is not this thing.
Which
That
way?
It's like, check your phone, ring. Not my own.
Man.
This phone is off now. I only use this one to do this project.
Go catch somebody. Go catch him now. So, are you ready? Eh? No, wait, leave them now. I'll go and hustle my money now. Nothing. All right? So that's what we're going to do. We'll start a 60-day program with you and with them, right? And then after tea break, we'll discuss what the target is, what everything would be. But I want it to run for 90 days, right? So I'd like for us to run from now, May, June, we're in April, May, June, right? April, May, June, maybe we add July to it, and we close out in those 4 months, and after those 4 months, so that if by July we know those who have qualified, you understand, or let's say latest August, we can plan a trip for October, November, December, right? So that it gives us a bit more time. Flights is a bit cheaper, and everything can run as it were. Can we all agree on that? Good. So when I come back, we'll talk about these 10 skills. So what are the 10 skills? If you want to hit this goal, right, please, you're going to record this very, very well because we need to upload it and we're going to share it exclusively to those people in that group. I would suggest that these 3 people, these 4 people that you want to qualify for this thing, when you get the link of this thing, you gather them somewhere within the next couple of days, couple of weeks, gather them in a room, in an office somewhere, all of you sit down around the laptop and you watch it's going to be almost 2 hours, 30 minutes class. You watch it, take notes, and then decide on how you can, as a group, succeed, push this thing off, right? And in the course of the 60-day program. I'm also going to send you some classes. I'm going to send you a class on marketing channels. You gather those people, you watch it. When you are gathering them and you are watching it, I want you to be reporting. The day you gather them and they're going to watch, everybody should take a picture, post it on the group. Do you understand? So we're going to gamify it. We're going to give points to people that are doing all those things. So we'll give ourselves 1 week or 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks, everybody, we want to see pictures of people congregating together and doing this thing together. Yes, madam? You go gather them for, you go tell them, then they watch them. If they watch them, then do selfie with the screen. Where did they watch them? Snap, give to you. So, whichever one. Or you do video call. You can do video call for up to 6 people. Everybody should be on the video call. And then everybody to do a selfie with their laptop so that they are showing that they are watching it. But everybody must watch. All right? Good. So Bisola is going to come here, and the focus, Bisola's focus is on ensuring that, because remember we have 2 tracks here. We're operational and we're also strategic in terms of sales. So she's going to talk about, please you can shift the slides. How do you build an organization that works hard? Because I know people talk about smart work and it's true, but hard work is also important, right? So how do we become, because yes, we're going to tell you what to do, but it doesn't make it easy to do, right? If you're going to succeed, you're going to work hard at it, right? So we're going to talk about how do you build a hard-working organization. So let's give her a round of applause as she comes up.